why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me.
Hi, Heidi ho. Heidi ho. Greetings and salutations to all. Let's do an audio check. Let's see some ones in the chat if everybody can hear me okay. And we'll start there. Alrighty. Just gonna kick back for a second. And we're gonna save that. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Today? This evening? Anybody else sporting their America's Most Dangerous Gang shirt out there today? Yeah, I love these shirts. Beware. Anyways, it's been a long time since I was in the studio here doing a live stream, and I figured I should do one. RLS is two. Why a two? Why do you got to be the odd person out? Hey, well, like the title suggests, I was going to do a live stream because I was going to invite, or I am inviting, the Constitution State to come on here and talk about the video that I featured and that he has on his channel where he was arrested um, pretty much for photography and videoing an area police were in. I'm sure most of you saw the video. John's still sporting the pimpin' it geriatric style shirt. Ah, I know. I love that shirt. That shirt. Lenny, Scotland, welcome, 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 welcome. Ah, so I sent an email and my I just seen the email right stand. Oh, okay, cool. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna let them know I'm live. Click the link to join my live stream. In the email when you're ready. All right. So he responded to my emails and my text. Um, Hopefully he's ready. He's on the East Coast, so here it's almost 4 o'clock. There it's about dinner time. So who knows what he has going on? Let me just take a moment to say hi to everybody. Midnight Rider, good to see you. Renee, Crofty, good day from from an Aussie. Hey Matt, how's things down under, mate? you know, I've been watching a lot of videos on YouTube where from gold prospectors in Australia. Yeah, pretty interesting. Seems like you guys have some decent gold in the ground out there. Patrick Lewis. Let's see. Let's highlight this. Showing my respects. Junkyard News. I'm going live soon. Much respect. Other than the Queen music flags. Queen music. Oh, another one bites the dust, man. Don't think it's not the. Come on, it's Queen. It's Queen. But other than the group, it's what that song represents. Okay, so even if you don't like the group, you got to understand the meaning behind it. Hey, John, Charlie, Prairie. Good to see everybody. Jared, Lenny. Thank you. So, hopefully, I get a notice when he jumps in here. But what we're talking about is what we're going to be talking about is the video that Constitution State put up. And for anybody out there who didn't see the video, right now YouTube's got it pretty much restricted. It's not getting out there because I think it's because of the intro I put in. I think there's a part in it where it shows sheriff's deputy confronting a guy with a knife, like in the intro or something like that. But so they flagged it, but let's bring that up. All right, we got that ready. Before we do that, I was about to do. Oh, the Constitution State is in. He's in the waiting room. We will bring him in a second. Okay. So if you're listening, Constitution State, just give me a second, man. Let me put it in the private chat too. Oh, 1 sec, just in case he's not hearing. We want to get everybody on board with what we're talking about here. So we're going to share a screen. Settings. No, where'd it go? It's not here. Where'd it go? There it goes. Share screen. And we're going to go Chrome tab and hooked and booked. All right. I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun. Search a nigga down and grab identity by itself. So this is the video right here. Constitution State came across. We're going to talk about how he got to this point. What happened? I'm going to let him tell you in his own words.
Don't let him search you.
Wait a second.
Oh, of course, I interject.
Tell him to kick rocks. It doesn't matter.
And he gets arrested
I can
pretty
say
much
whatever
for
I want over here.
speech.
Good try, though.
He's not yelling or whatever.
Protected
So
speech.
Really?
this is what we're going to be talking about today.
I want on this side. I
this
absolutely
tyrant
can. I can
wench
film.
here.
I can talk. I can talk.
You can't
I can talk.
He wasn't
I can say
yelling.
whatever I want on this
He
side.
was
I
not
can.
yelling.
You gonna arrest me over it?
You can get arrested.
Are you gonna?
for free.
Are you?
He did. He ended up getting arrested. So without further ado, let me take this off of here, and we are going to add Constitution State to the stream. Welcome, brother.
Hello, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I am so glad you were able to take time out of your busy evening and jump on here for the viewers and the subscribers. And if anybody out there hasn't subscribed to Constitution State, make sure you do. All right. For anybody that was going to stand up face to face with a cop and not put up with his or her bull crap and say, you're going to arrest me? Come on, let's just go do it. You know, it kind of reminds me of my Costa Mesa, where I told the cops when they came out for my taser, I told him, I said, all right, I'm ready to go. And he thought I was going to give ID. And he's like, okay, let's get it. I'm like, no, I'm ready to go. Let's go. Put my handcuffs on. I love it. I love that attitude. So go ahead and introduce yourself to anybody that hasn't seen that video, and we'll get on with this.
My name's Dan. I run the channel, The Constitution State, from Eastern Connecticut. I live in Mansfield right now. That was the Willimantic cops, man. And I haven't been out. I stayed away from them for a little bit because I was on them a lot, and I've started traveling different towns and seeing them. But recently I've been getting a lot of people have been coming and telling me dude, they're just stopping and searching everybody, no reason, nothing, and I know firsthand they do those things. I've been a victim to it. It's nothing new. So I had seen that lady 20 minutes before that. I seen him at a car accident, and I taped him real quick. She even said hi. I said hi, and I left, and I was going through town after, and I seen her go up that road where she was. So I went and I walked over, and I mean, that's what transpired. But it's just, I don't feel like I was yelling. You know what I mean? I feel like I was talking accordingly for the distance there. I don't think I breached peace. Like, she didn't have, who was the complainant? Like, nobody was complaining. Like, she made it up. She wanted to arrest me. Like,
No, I agree.
I don't, like, and you know, sometimes you're just not in the mood to deal with it. And I wasn't in the mood that day.
I could tell. I could tell. My first question, though, would be coming across that scene. Did you drive by? Were you already in the area? Did you have a scanner and you were cop watching? Explain how you got to that point.
No, I was out. I was cop watching. I don't have a real scanner. I got an app on my phone, and it's not really all that great. But like I said, I would just seen him at the car accident, so I seen her speed off. I seen another one speed off, so I knew they were going somewhere. And I heard it come over the scanner, and it didn't give me like the exact location, but it gave me the area. So I went to the area. I seen him. I parked. I walked over, and that
On a
was,
sidewalk, and you stayed on
yep,
the
yeah.
sidewalk as everybody gets ready.
I never went anywhere. I was on the sidewalk the whole time. Like,
And I've said it before, the sidewalk is supposed to be the bastion of the First Amendment. It's supposed to be the absolute safest place you could be is on a public sidewalk.
yeah,
And anybody that's seen the video knows you weren't yelling, you weren't screaming. They just didn't like the fact, to me, it seems, that you were interjecting yourself verbally and giving giving the person that their focus was on, not legal advice, but just your opinion of the situation. Like, hey, don't let them search you. Don't consent to that, man.
well, not everybody around here knows this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out here that believe they gotta let these cops run them and touch them and do all this stuff. You know what I mean? And the cops, you know how they are. They're gonna make you believe that you have to listen to them and you have to let them do these things. Like, no, man.
No, it was crazy. So you were the video cuts. Well, your video goes all the way, it seems like, through your arrest.
Yeah.
I think you edited it, you sped it up a little bit or edited it.
Yeah, yeah.
But so once she grabs an item from you, looked like it might have been a drink or something like that.
Yeah.
You put your hand. She said, "Put your hands behind your back." You complied, right?
Yep.
And take us from there. What was the next step? Did they search you? Go through the whole process.
Oh yeah, they searched me. She went through my pockets. She went through everything, took everything off me, put it on top of the car. She put my camera on top of the car. I had a brand new coffee she put on top of the car. And then she put the cuffs on. She put the cuffs on. One side was tight, like real tight. And she put me in the car. I sat in there you could hear her talking outside. They tried to figure out how to shut the camera off. They couldn't figure out that you just had to hit the red button and it would end it.
They don't seem to be too electronically literate.
Yeah, so they started it. They stopped it, then they started again. Once they realized they couldn't shut it off, they just threw it in the car. But I asked for a supervisor like a couple minutes in. They brought one up, but they didn't let me talk to her. But she was once they brought me down to the PD, she was there the whole time. But they sat out there for a few minutes, did whatever they talked about. She got in the car. I tried to talk, and if you heard in the car, she was just mad that I wasn't listening to her, dude. Like, that's all it was about. I wasn't yelling. She told me at one point I couldn't even talk on the sidewalk. You can't talk. I'm like, what? So I was trying to just talk to her in the car, and she kept in the car too. You're yelling over me, and I never yelled in the car either. Like, she was the one, if anything, in the car, like talking louder. So we didn't really.
It seemed like it was about ego. It was like,
I'm
the boss. You're going to do what I say. I'm your master. When it's supposed to be the way around.
And it's just weird because the night before, like, I had another video up on my channel. The night before, I crossed the sidewalk to talk to one of them, and the dude screamed at me, and we went back and forth for like 3 minutes, and that wasn't interfering or breach of peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I go over here and I just say, hey, don't let him search you. Tell him to kick rocks. And now I'm breaching peace. And like, if she had just kept doing her job, I don't usually interject myself in. Like, if you watch my videos, I'm not usually the guy standing there yelling things like, tell him to do this. Like, You know what I mean? But with what I feel like's been going on in town, I feel like it's important that people should know that they don't have to let these guys search them. You know what I mean? And it sucks it had to go that way. But if she had never said I can't talk, I would have never said it again. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't, if they already had his consent or had what they needed to search him, me saying that's not going to change a thing. You know what I mean? The only way it's going to change a thing is if they didn't ask him, or, you know what I mean? Lied to him. Like, and it was just a battle after that. And you know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes I'll give them the, I'll back down a little bit. You know what I mean?
This wasn't your first rodeo with the police either. You've had other interactions that have kind of gone south before also. You want to talk about that?
I've had other arrests. This is my second arrest in 2 months of the same charge. And the other one's way more blatant than this one. Like the other one that they're really in trouble for. But this one,
talk about that without going too far. I don't know what you can
oh
say
yeah, absolutely. I was at New Britain Police Department. I think it was October. I don't remember the date exactly. It was in October though, and I was doing an amendment after work. I got out of work early. I was like, you know what? Let's go check out this PD. I've gotten messages about this PD. They're not that great, so I went there. And honestly, like the whole first 3/4 of the audit was fine. I didn't really see anybody. I did the parking lot, like the public parking lot, the PD, like nobody said anything, but I couldn't figure out where they park. I like to see their cars. I like to see how they take care of them. And it took me a minute, but they have a parking garage that's actually like right next to the PD, but it's a public parking garage. So I seen that they had a bridge going from the PD to the parking garage. So I'm like, they got to be parking up there. So I went up there. I checked out the parking lot. I found where they actually enter from the bridge from the PD to the parking garage. 2 ladies came out. One of them you could tell was like uncomfortable. She stood behind a concrete pillar taking like pictures of me, and I knew she got on the phone like she was calling cops. So I walked by.
That's
I was like,
familiar. That's familiar. I'm pretty sure, you know, I watch and see a lot of videos and research, but that right there, that part sounds, I bet you I've seen that video.
You probably have. And I said, look at, we got a Karen. But I knew she was uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And I said that, but she didn't hear me. So I walked away. I was like, she can get in her car and leave. You know what I mean? Because I knew that's what she was probably bugging out about. And I went up top and I did what I had to do up there. And when I came back through, I stopped in the same area because now they had like, I didn't know at the time, but that was actually the day of the, we had 3 cops get ambushed out here in Bristol, Connecticut. And that was the day they had the funeral for the officers that got shot. So I didn't know that going into this, and I actually didn't know it till after I was arrested. But so one plainclothes officer came over and he was like, hey, you know, you can't go past that gate because there was a gate there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I pointed to the sign actually. And he was like, all right, something about a bad day. And I was like, okay. And then like 3 minutes later, there's 2 lady officers approach me. Well, I'm like, I looked at, there was some state cars not parked on the in the restricted area. It was in the public area, so I was checking those out. And
Yeah.
2 lady officers approached me, and like first words were out of their mouths were, "We need ID. Can you give us ID?" Blah blah. And I just felt I was automatically on the defense. You know what I mean? Like they didn't even like approach me nicely. So I was like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not saying anything. You know what I mean? And they kept talking about the cameras, and I told them to go check the cameras. Well, the plainclothes dude came back, and now he was being rude all of a sudden now that there was cops there, and he was just talking crap. It was bad. And then he left. He finally went to go check the cameras, and a supervisor pulls up, and they kept accusing me of
when the supervisor pulls up.
Oh, well, dude, honestly, I was like, I'm going to get some help here. I thought he would at least know, you know what I mean? I'm not doing anything wrong. They kept accusing me of trespassing because that's what they kept using at that time was trespassing. I'm like, I never trespassed. I know I never trespassed. You can go check your cameras and see that I never trespassed. Like, we don't even need to do this. So he pulls up, and you can hear the lady clearly tell him, we don't know if he did or didn't do it. And the supervisor was like, he waited till I looked away, and he just ran over and arrested me, ripped my camera out of my hand, cuffed me, and arrested me. And then while they were booking me, somebody must have told them that they couldn't arrest me for filming on public property. So they changed the charge to breach of peace.
Yeah.
But on that one too, actually, that was on a Friday. The next business day, which was a Monday, the chief of police sent me an email stating that filming in public is not a crime, and if I do or do not put a complaint in, he's investigating his officers regardless.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first time that's ever happened. I've been assaulted at a whole bunch of these PDs now, and I've never had a chief go out of his way and email me like that.
Do you think he's going to be serious about that? Or do you think it's kind of lip service?
At this point, I've heard from other departments and other chiefs that he's a good chief. So I mean, I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, and honestly, I will, because I don't know him, but we will find out. You know what I mean? In the end, and either way, that's, to me, you're telling me they messed up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're pretty much admitting fault to me. So
Without admitting it, you're admitting it.
yeah,
I did have one commenter is curious on this new video that we've been talking about. Jared wants to know how far are you planning on taking this whole thing with this tyrant wench that arrested you for speech on a sidewalk?
I mean, I would like to take it as far as I can, hold them accountable. You know what I mean? I'm still real new to this, so I get helped. Like, I get a lot of channels that help me through the way. You know what I mean? Like, lead me in the right direction. For this one, I'm actually going to get an attorney, just because I do have the other ones going on, and it's a lot of time to do each one. And this one's in a little bit harder of a court, so I got an attorney. But my goal is to get this dismissed. Connecticut just revised its breach of peace statute in 2017, I believe, because they were using it to violate everybody's rights, and somebody finally got it changed a little bit. And from what I can get out of it and what I've read, that breach of peace now in Connecticut is supposed to involve violence or threats of violence. You know what I mean? Something other than just talking. So, I mean, if that's the case,
like yelling fire in a crowded theater, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not harming anybody talking over here. You know what I mean? She just charged me with the breach of peace for the interfering, because she can't just get me with the interfering. You know what I mean?
She just wanted to get she
just wanted to jam me
You
up.
just tell it in her attitude, her speech, her she stuttered a couple of times, and her actions that she felt that she was in control of you.
And, that I had to listen. I had to.
You had to do whatever. She could tell you to do 100 jumping jacks, and you better do it, or she's going to arrest you.
Yep.
That's the impression that I got from her.
Me too. I mean, and what's weird is I've dealt with her before, and like, you heard her make the comment about the kids. Oh, you were there filming kids. She acted like she allowed me to film the chief that day. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, after you told us what you were doing, because I didn't tell him what you know what I mean? She did approach me and try to ask me to stop filming, and I was like, dude, I'm not filming these kids. There's Ryan, that's my guy. What up, Ryan? And then I just told her, I'm like, I don't want to film these kids. I'm filming this corrupt police chief right here. And you heard how she spun. Oh, you were filming kids that day. And I was like, no, I was filming the chief. And then she said, after you told us what we were doing, we let you. And I'm like, no, you didn't let me do anything. You know what I mean? Like, she feels like she's giving us the First Amendment. Yeah, it applies when she allows it. You know what I mean? That type. No talking on a sidewalk. Have you ever heard that?
Jared also wanted to thank you for putting your freedom in your life on the line for his rights and everybody's rights.
I appreciate that, Jared. You know, this is for all of us. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not just one person. We do this for everybody, or I do.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of perception, I think, out there. People that they may not lick the boot, so to say, but maybe they have old friends or distant family that have been in law enforcement that believe that, cops can do no wrong. And anybody that wants to go out and just document what's going on or make sure somebody's rights aren't being violated is somehow the problem.
Yeah.
The photographer, the videographer, the news agency, the people reporting on what's going on, they're the problem when this stuff happens.
Yeah.
If the officer would have just respected your rights, and if she wanted to ignore you, just ignore you.
Yeah.
This whole thing wouldn't have blown up like this, and now she wouldn't be possibly facing a Section 1983 lawsuit down the line, or even even a
Yeah.
lawsuit within the state. It's it just baffled the mind, and that's one reason why I wanted to help spread the news about the video, because it's not all about clicks and stuff like that. It's about getting the word out there. It's about people becoming aware, and YouTube's getting stringent enough with this stuff to where if they think something's kind of edgy and they don't want to monetize it, they don't suggest it as
Yeah.
much. It gets hardly any views. It's up to the subscribers to share it and get it out there, because YouTube's not gonna they have no dog in the fight. It's like, we're not going to make any money if we're hiding the video. So
No.
it's up to everybody to share videos and post them on Facebook, Twitter, stuff like that. And they did. I don't know if I told you in the emails, but the whole video I did of your interaction, the whole turmoil that ensued, they actually just recently demonetized it. They demonetized it because of you got arrested or something. They never tell you exactly why. But yet I have videos of cops actually literally shooting unarmed people that don't get demonetized. But somehow, some way, your video got demonetized, and it's not appropriate for most advertisers. It's crazy.
The way they do it isn't really fair, because I've had them do some of mine and like take them down for after they've been up for a while, and there's nothing in it. Like, oh, there's been ones where I've got arrested, but nothing happens. You can't even see the arrest in my first one, other than him grabbing me to put the cuffs on. And they said that was violent. I'm like, how is that violent? Like, I've had videos of cops actually assaulting me and ripping my camera out of my hand and doing all sorts of stuff that are up, and they're okay.
Yeah, I really get a feeling that whoever is reviewing whatever, there's got to be, with the amount of videos being uploaded to YouTube these days, they got to have an extensive amount of different people and different characteristics of people reviewing these videos when they get flagged and people request a review. It makes me think that there are some reviewers that are biased, and even
Absolutely.
even if a video is within the guidelines, they still will determine, oh, it's not appropriate, even though you followed the guidelines. It's crazy.
You know what I've been doing on those, though, is after you get those back, I'm pretty sure you can leave a comment, like if you agree or if you disagree, because I went back and I had a whole bunch of them where they did that to me, and on every single one I left them like a bad, I guess you call it like a bad review. Like, I was like, who's actually reviewing these? Because what you guys are claiming is in this video, there's none of it in this video, so I want to know what's going on here. You know what I mean? I doubt anybody ever sees it, but they got to get tallied up somewhere.
they do got to get tallied up somewhere. So, and this new video, it hasn't been dismissed yet. You're still
I just went to court for it today.
And how'd that go? Was that just like a pretrial? That's just plead not guilty?
It was arraignment. They let me out on a $1,500 non-surety bond. So I went. I spoke to a bunch of lawyers about this. I've been calling them the past few days, and literally it's sad because like 90% of them sounded like cops. Like, you know what I mean, with the charges. Like, well, that is interfering or that is breach of peace. And I'm like, what are you reading? Like, you know what I mean? So I finally found.
I'm baffled. I gotta rewind this a little bit here.
Yeah.
I'm baffled that you had to be let out on, you said, a $1,500 surety bond.
Yeah.
I'm surprised for something that could be as minor as a breach of peace.
Yeah.
That doesn't your state have don't they release people on like low level offenses on what's called own recognizance?
It's in Connecticut. It's promise to appear. You sign a promise to appear and they let you out, and you just promise to go to court, and that's a no fee. That's like your way out. And honestly, they should have, but it's my New Britain one. They gave me $1,000 bond. Like, they literally looked in my wallet, so I thought I had $130, gave me $1,000 bond, made me pay them $100 to get out, bond myself out. So I mean, yeah, it was 1,500, but it was non-surety, so I didn't have to come out of pocket on this one.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
It is, isn't it?
It's
For
crazy.
that.
I mean, the state I live in, California. I call because
Yeah,
it
that's
with me,
awesome.
California. Um, the one small positive thing. I mean, there's negatives and positives to every action. Okay,
Yeah.
good thing, there's every cloud has a silver lining. California a while back went to pretty much no bail system, pretty much, unless you're arrested and accused for causing great, and it has to be great bodily harm to somebody, and be an absolute 100% danger to the public while this is going through. Most things are a ticket.
Yeah.
You here in California, you could run out of the store with a big screen TV at Walmart. Happen right when a cop's pulling up. The cop could see you stealing, grand theft, some like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 TV, and yet, okay, here's your TV back at Walmart. Okay, here's your ticket. Have a nice day. Go to the next store and do it again. It's crazy. So the fact that I hear that for breach of peace,
Yeah.
which is a bullcrap charge in my opinion, we've already
Oh
covered
yeah.
that. Making you pay out of pocket to get out of jail, it seems crazy.
Connecticut's crazy, man. They will take money from you any which way they can get it. They don't care. Like they were supposed to, like in the TV, I don't even know exactly what ended, but they were supposed to be changing the bond laws to where, like you said, for petty crime, you don't go to jail because our jails are over full. Like we're working on a story right now. We're trying to get the like real news in on it because our county jail has inmates sleeping on the floor and has since 2000. Like, and we went up there and did a story. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and that got some attention to like some people, and we've been talking to them. We're trying to get the word out. But like, if we have people sleeping on the floor, we don't need people in jail for breach of peace. You know what I mean? Or any of these other stupid charges. We need to fix the system because it's not working. You're not rehabilitating anybody, making them sleep on the floor like an animal.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Definitely. Is there anything else you want to add? Do you have a GoFund, a Cash App, anything to help with your defense of all
I got
the arrests?
I did start a GoFundMe. I wasn't gonna, but I did a live the other night, and people were wanting to contribute and said that would be the best route. So I did start a GoFundMe. It's on my page. I don't know the link, but it is on my page. I posted it. I have a Cash App. It's the money sign, the Constitution State. And I've got a couple $100 up so far. So to cover this lawyer, I got to get half, which I need like another 800 for, I think, to get him to lock him in. But it'll happen either way. I'm not worried about it. But I appreciate it. You're the man. I've been watching you for a long time, since before I had a camera in my hand. And I'm sorry about the start, but I appreciate you being how you are, and you know what I mean, giving me a shot, and us being able to do this. I'm more than honored to be on here talking to you right now. And I appreciate you.
That video is still set to be deleted. As of right now, they still haven't done anything about that. I'm probably just gonna have to delete it.
They were going back and forth with me this afternoon because, like you had said, remember yesterday you had said it might be the wrong link, and you put the right link in.
Yeah.
They told me today, they sent me one saying it was fine. They just wanted a letter from me saying that I didn't like to not do it. And then I did that. And then the next one said that they need the link. So that link. So I sent them that one. So they should be processing it. So you should be good. But
yeah, it's still got a couple days before I sweat it. So we'll just go ahead and just leave it.
Either which way, I'm on your side.
It's no worries.
No, but I feel like you're an important dude in this community, and you put out a lot of positive stuff.
Dude,
I really do. I've watched you for a while. And I think I took a little bit of everybody. I try to, you know what I mean? I try to learn from everybody.
Yeah, most of us on here aren't lawyers, but we can only give advice on things that we've experienced ourselves, and I've read a lot of case law on not a lot, but I've read enough case law in from my circuit. And that's the thing, is you really got to be up to date on, like, not only the U.S. Supreme Court, but your circuit courts too, because it's crazy. Because in Connecticut, there could be a case out of Connecticut State Supreme Court that says I'm safe if I do something, and people might say, "Oh, okay, they live in California and they do the same thing," and next thing you know,
Yeah.
oh, you can't do that. It's a different circuit, so they get qualified immunity because
Yeah.
there's never been a case like that here in this circuit. So you really got to you really got to be careful. Always record the police.
Absolutely. That's the main thing, I think. And I think more people need to do it.
It's crazy though. I've been having a YouTube channel. You think I started making stupid videos back in 2013. Really started kicking off with audits and stuff 2014, 2015. But there is so many more people taking that advice now. It took this many years, and you see more and more police interactions, not from auditors, not just everyday people, because they're starting to learn. It's the
Yeah.
cop word against your word, and they're gonna believe the cop. So and the body cam or dash cam, that shit's gonna disappear. Something's
No.
gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, like you just said, you said it's your word. When I was calling the lawyers yesterday, that's what like they all said. Well, it's going to be what's in the, like I told them what happened, and they'll always be like, well, the police report's going to say something else, and they're going to side with the police. So blah. I'm like, yeah, but I have it on film. Like, you know what I mean? We don't have something that's going to disappear or get edited, or you know what I mean? Like, I have this whole thing on film. Like, and still they're like, well, that still might be interfering, or that might be breaching a peace, and I'm like, no, we must be reading different things.
Yeah.
Like,
the First Amendment. I'm on a public sidewalk, the bastion of the First Amendment. If you talk to an attorney and they try to pull that bull crap, you say, look, can I interject one thing? I'm on a public sidewalk, the bastion, the safest place I could be to express myself to my public officials. And I didn't yell. I spoke in a manner loud enough to get my voice across, and so they could hear it.
yeah.
And it's on video, and case law is clear. I'm protected. And you may find an attorney that just, there's some attorneys out there, some lawyers that just don't want to deal with it, so they'll give you every excuse in the book. Oh, don't get your hopes up. I don't know. You're this or that, and you really don't know what's going to happen in court.
The one that I talked to last night was like the only one that I talked to all day that was like, come in and talk to me, let's talk. So I went and met with him face to face, and it was actually, I was there almost 2 hours, but he's the only one that talked about the Constitution. You know what I mean? He was big on, it's the state's job to prove you guilty. You know what I mean? Like, they have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this crime. And we just really hit it off. And he's a local attorney from this town. He goes to that court a lot. He's known in that court. He's respected. And he's respected in the community. I haven't heard one person say a bad thing about him. And I know people personally that have used him on multiple occasions. So he's not out of control with his price. So I feel like right now that's the option we're going with. But we're not. I want one thing, and that's a dismissal. Like,
even if the DA knows that she messed up, there's a chance that they're going to drag this out as long as they can until an actual trial date.
Yeah.
And they may dismiss it like right before it starts, because they're going to be thinking, okay, if she did screw up, that's a huge lawsuit. So we got to try to get this guy convicted of something.
Yeah.
So that doesn't come up, because there is case law out there that says if you're found guilty of a crime, then it for the most part it washes your lawsuit away.
Yeah.
So you really need that dismissal.
I don't even want it just for that reason. Like, I have a criminal record from my younger years of me being stupid and actually messing up, and that's going to follow me unless I can get it pardoned. But like, I don't need this crap on there. I've worked so hard to get where I am and clean my record up, and you know what I mean? I've been out of trouble since 2015. And now I have these because these officers got butt hurt. Like, I thought we were in America, not, you know what I mean?
That could be, I think that's the best response I could expect out of somebody when I brought up that topic. Is it's not about, it is absolutely not about a future lawsuit. It's about my record and my integrity and how hard I've worked. Bravo.
Yeah.
I love that. So
It's just that, but that's really what it is. You know what I mean? I'm new to this. I just checked. I've only been doing this 6 months. You know what I mean? And I feel like I've gotten a lot of attention in 6 months, but I'm still really new. And it's not like I came into knowing all this, knowing what I'm doing. I'm learning everything on the fly. I learn things from, you know what I mean, other people like you know what I mean, willing to talk to me, willing to help me. And that's where I pick up all my stuff. It's not like, I mean, yeah, I finally just talked to a lawyer, but like the whole YouTube page and stuff, I learned from you guys, the people that have been here doing it, and the people willing to help other people. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I'm still lost, but I'd be even more lost. Like, and I know we'll get there together. We'll get it done. And these officers will be held accountable. But the meantime, like you said, I feel like it's going to be a drawn out process out of each court. And I got a infractions trial January 12th. I didn't tell you about that.
Oh, go ahead.
I was
all ears and eyes.
I was filming Norwich police in August, and I saw a cop earlier in the day driving, and he was driving like a D-bag, like not following the laws, he was cutting people off. He was just being a jerk. So I seen him later, actually, when I was like leaving the town. I seen him. He was on a stop on the street in Norwich, is Boswell. So I turned around because I was going to go. I never park right there. You know what I mean? And he was parked in no parking. So I definitely wasn't going to do that. So I went down to go park. This car speeds around me, brakes checks me out of nowhere. I was doing the speed limit like everywhere. So I'm like, what's this dude's problem? Like, and I'm trying to get to the cop. I don't even want to deal with this right now. So I sit there for a few seconds. He doesn't do anything. I go around the car again. I keep going, and the car is just on my bumper. So I go to turn around this parking lot. He jumps out of his car, comes running over, starts screaming, "Are you good? Are you good?" Like, and I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, I'm really not even in the mood for this right now. I'm like, you're the one acting up. Are you good? And he finally was like, it was nuts, dude. Like, usually you expect something. You know what I mean? You know something's coming. You did something. Like, this is one time where I could say, like, I was really doing the speed limit, wasn't driving like a jerk. Like, so I turn around, I go back up. He goes his way. Oh, and he kept screaming. It was a Domino's delivery driver. I forgot about that. He started yelling, I got a delivery, and blah, blah. Like, you are taking time out of it to mess with me. Go make your delivery. So finally we get up to the cop. He ends up taking his car and parking it in the back of the house, so we couldn't go back there. We were filming from the street, like and I've never called something like this in my whole life. Like 2 minutes before this happened, you're right, Ryan, I said, this dude's gonna come by, watch. And not even like 3 minutes later, dude, the Domino's driver goes by. I panned him with the camera, and I said, oh, that was it. He locks his brakes up, backs up, starts talking, and this time he wants to be nicer and blah. And I was like, dude, if I acted like you, I'd be being nice now too. Because we had already called and spoke to Domino's, like told him that this dude was out of control. So he was like, oh, all right, I got something for you, 1 minute. And he pulls up and he calls the cops. So the cops show up, and they were like, we need your ID. And I was like, I'm not giving you my ID. Oh, and when they showed up, they said that they were there for me interfering with the officer parked behind the house, not for the guy that called the cops on me. I forgot about that. Yeah, isn't this? It gets better. So they needed my ID. I told them I wasn't giving them my ID. I didn't commit a crime. They kept trying to say I committed a crime. I'm like, I could show you what happened because I know I didn't break the law. You know what I mean? Like, what did I do? I can absolutely stand on the sidewalk and go, oh, as somebody drives by. Like, I showed them. They pretty much agreed with me without saying it that I didn't commit a crime, but I still needed him to show my ID just because he had a complaint. Even though I showed him no crime was committed, this complaint's still valid, and they're still going to give it to me because they need my ID. and they really gave me a ticket for creating a public disturbance, for going as somebody drove by. They tried to say that, and I'm not gonna lie, that was when I first started doing it, and I was upset. I went in on them cops. I called them every name in the book. I was upset that day because I felt like I really didn't do anything wrong.
I think a lot of people would agree that you didn't do anything wrong.
The state's been beating me up, dude. I'm not gonna joke. Since I started this stuff has been this state's been using and abusing me. They do not like transparency. Like I said, dude, assaulted multiple times. You know what I mean? Had my stuff broken. All sorts of things. Like, and there's no accountability. Like the department that just arrested me, Friday, their officer walked through after they did. I caught him parked on the sidewalk. I was asking him to move. He wouldn't move. Started doing a cam back. Started talking to me through his loudspeaker, asking me to smile and like pose. You know what I mean? Like for his pictures. Call the supervisor. Finally, the supervisor showed up, made him move his car. So while I was writing a complaint on him, he came through the lobby and called me a snitch, which I didn't get on camera, but I got from I FOIA'd their footage from the department and I got it. And I put it all in the complaint. And when I got my complaint back from the department, they said that he wasn't recording. So that they're not going to do anything about that just because he said he wasn't recording, even though he was holding his phone up and, you know what I mean, doing everything that indicates he was recording. They said he wasn't. So there was no further action needed. They didn't say anything about the snitch part. They left all that out. And I know why. It's because I've already got complaints on him that have stuck, but there's no, like, I'm not going to lie. They have good officers. They have some real good officers at the department, but the way they run it and the way they lack discipline is not going to get them, you know what I mean, the results the community deserves. And
in my experience, let's touch before we wrap this up. Let's we got about 13 minutes. I like to keep my live streams about an hour.
That's cool.
And we're about 13 minutes away, so we got some time here. But one thing I'd like to touch on is let's talk about the topic of filing complaints. Okay. A lot of people out there have probably seen videos. There's been even news, let me be careful how I phrase this, corporate news media that have gone out and done investigations by, setting a person in and asking for complaint forms and stuff, and have them run out of the police departments without being able, pretty much threatened, like, because they want ID and all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that are kind of afraid to file complaints when they feel that they've done something wrong. But the thing I want to touch about filing complaints is, in my experience, it seems that when you complain about the actions of an officer, there's departments out there that if you don't specifically itemize what police policy they violated, then you have no chance of having it found sustained. They'll throw it out. Even you can get an officer on camera, swearing at you, calling you, every name in the book, acting unprofessional, unbecoming of an officer. But if your complaint doesn't state the actual policy of the police department that the officer violated, there's a lot of IAs out there that'll just wipe.
Well, and here's the crazy part is, okay, because what you're saying is I've heard that, you know what I mean, at a lot of places. Like, I've had complaints going at this department, like when I first started, that I didn't do that and they went through. So I don't, you know what I mean? But I don't deal with that much here. But I've heard about it online, and like I've even started to do it because I've heard off of bigger channels, you know what I mean? Like San Joaquin said that before. If you can get the exact stuff and write it in there, and it'll look better, and it's how do you say it? But it's more likely to, it's more likely to get further. But like here, when I wanted to get Willimantic's policies, and you know what I mean, to look into it, you can't just get it. It's not online. You have to go FOIA it, and then you have to wait for them. So now this process is turning into something that should take a half hour to fill out our complaint is now going to take 2 to 3 weeks at, you know what I mean, soonest, just waiting for FOIA to get these policies. Like, so a lot of people will probably lose determination and, you know what I mean, give up or just not do it just on the fact of that. But this is the sad part, is you should be able to, in my opinion, is go to the department, show them the video or whatever you need help with, and they should tell you exactly what policy these officers are breaking. That's real
They
public service.
they
That's
would
real
assist
community
you.
help.
They would
And
assist you in the complaint process, saying, okay, yeah, that may. They don't have to say it does. They can say,
yeah,
well, that I would look at policy this for that
yeah,
instance, and assist. But you're talking about the blue line here.
exactly.
You're talking about the blue line. You think an officer wants to, an officer walked by you that you complained about and called you a snitch, right? What do you think?
Yeah,
What do you think he's going to do to another blue liner that
yeah.
assists you in your process to get a complaint filed on him? I mean, uh, that's why a
Yeah,
lot of people say there's no such thing as a good cop, because even ones that want to be good cops are afraid to be good cops.
it's sad. It's true. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna tell you because it's cool. When I told you we went to the jail, when I went to the jail, I had one of the best experiences with a police officer yet, dude. That jail did not let us on the property. They were threatening us, all this stuff. Go figure, there was a PD right across the street, but that was local cops. They wouldn't help us because the jail is state. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we
probably.
pretty much called both of them, told them what was going on. Like pretty much got the okay that we could be up there without them saying it. We asked them to come assist us, like for an officer to show up and tell them that. And they were busy actually. A burglary got called in while we were there. So they all left for that. So we went over there, me and Tyrant Slayer, another local auditor here, he's helped me a lot. But we went and I was like, one of us got to go up. So I went up and I like went toe to toe with a few of them for a couple minutes so that they'd call the cops, and the cops came. And dude, that officer put them in their place. He showed up, dude, and stood up for the Constitution, like didn't even question us before he got out of the car. He was like, you're straight, don't worry about it. Like we didn't hear exactly what he said to them, but dude, he got us on those grounds, and he got us even more than we wanted. Like we just wanted to go up and take some pictures. He made sure they knew we could go everywhere there was public access.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that you were. There are officers that'll come out to situations and I have a. Let me stop myself out just to give you a reference here. Years ago, I did a video. I think I titled it "First Amendment Test" or "First Amendment Audit." Too sexy for UPS. All right, where a UPS employee came out, crossed the street where I was taking some video and stuff like that. Asked me some questions. I was like, I don't want to jeopardize my story I'm working on or whatever, but I'm not here to do any harm or anything like that. Called the Orange County Sheriff's Department. The officer they sent out. I think he thought he was all GQ or whatever, but I got his later on. I FOIA'd his body cam, which has not body cam. I mean his dash cam. They don't. Most of them don't have body cams, but they have dash cams, and then they have an audio mic that picks up their audio.
Yep.
And it's funny because there was a couple excerpts of that footage that I posted where he actually walks in front of his car he drives on the UPS property, walks in front of his car to talk to the staffers, the security guys that had called the police on me, and said, he's on a public sidewalk. Unless he trespasses, there's nothing we can do. He's within his rights to be there. He really didn't see anything that negative about me at all, but he was educating them kind of in a way of explaining why his hands were tied. But when he came back to me and was talking to me, the dash cam caught his audio, caught him talking to another officer. I didn't hear the other officer, but the question had to have been, did he give you any lip or something like that? And he was like, oh no, the guy was really cool. He didn't, he wasn't an ass at all. And then the key thing I picked up at the end was he just wants somebody to violate his rights, and I refuse to play in that. So, I mean, that was a little bit of a negative. It's like, no, I don't want you to violate my rights. But I do like the fact that he said, and I ain't going to play into that game.
Yeah.
So even though it's not a game, you know what I mean? It's like he
No, it's not. But whatever their reason is, if you're going to use whatever your reason is to not violate our rights, do it. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
I'd rather have your opinion be that than you grab me and slam me on the ground. You know what I mean? It's still a better officer than most.
I took his statement instead of all negative as he knows I had a right to be there. And
Yeah.
he knows that there's nothing he can do about it. And if he does anything to try to get me out of there or arrest me or throw me to the ground or force me to ID, he would be violating my rights. So that's a deputy that understands his limitation. So, you know, I always try to grab, even if they say something negative, I try to grab the good in. Okay, what did he really mean? What's the underlying statement in that sentence he said? So there are cops out there that they know, they come out to a situation and they know what they can and can't do. Deputies, cops, city police. Oh, I hate city police. They're just nothing but armed security with qualified immunity.
I agree.
I would much rather deal with a county sheriff than a city cop.
Yep.
So, but I know we kind of got off
Yeah,
on
it's all right.
there,
That's part of it.
but I'm sure my viewers, my subscribers, like I said, go check out the Constitution State, subscribe, show them love, show them support. If you could throw them any help to his defense, let's get that done. Is there anything else you want to express and let people know about before we wrap this up?
No, I just wanted to say thank you to you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to jump on here and talk with you. If you ever need anything in the future, if there's anything I could do to help you, let me know. I'm more than happy to get anything out there for you, and I'm glad we did this. I really am.
So am I. I am so glad you took the time. I'm thankful you took the time to jump on here. Usually, being this late in the evening, it doesn't grab as many people, but when it turns into a regular video, I'm sure it'll gain a little bit of traction. And you know, I just appreciate your time, and I want everybody out there to just, you know, understand that there's photographers, cop watchers, auditors, and just everyday people out there exercising their rights, and they don't deserve an officer to come up to them and tell them they can't talk on a public sidewalk. That's ridiculous.
It's just saying it, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Even without the video, just saying that, it sounds ridiculous.
I saw that video, I just blew in my mind, and that's one of the reasons I jumped on it. And I was like, okay, I gotta get
No.
I gotta get snips of this out and get people over there to watch the full video, because this really needs traction. This is absurd.
We're gonna go somewhere with it, and I'll keep you in the loop the whole time.
I appreciate that.
And like I said, anytime you need somebody to jump on with you, talk, let me know, man. I'll always make time to come on and talk to you, bud.
Appreciate it. We've been kind of lax on our live streams lately, but this was definitely one that I had to make the effort to do the studio. The studio's kind of turned into more of a storage space, and I had
No, I feel you. Mine's everywhere. Mine's just anywhere I am. So
the past day and a half, I've been cleaning up the studio area here, trying to make.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe someday I could get you on mine. I've been starting to do it, but I'm not. I haven't done too much, but we're getting there.
Definitely. We'll keep in touch. We'll keep me updated, and we'll keep the viewers updated. And I want to take this moment to thank everybody else out there that decided to jump on the live stream and to listen to your story. And
Me too.
I don't know what else to say. We're just gonna wrap this up.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. Thank you, man.
All right, man.
It means more than you know.
All right. Well, we'll catch you later. Keep up the good fight. Keep us updated, and you have a nice evening. Okay.
You too. Thank you, bro.
Peace, man. All right. That was the Constitution State. Of course, most of you already knew by seeing the title what we were going to be talking about. His recent arrest that I did a highlight video on when the female piglet decided to tell him that he couldn't talk on a public sidewalk. the gold standard of the First Amendment, the bastion of the last place in the world you would expect your rights to be violated, on a public sidewalk. It just blows my mind. All right. Thank you all. Definitely appreciate again you tuning in, and we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching the live stream. You guys have a nice evening, and until next time, peace.